Hey, 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 how you doing? Back again. You like that beautiful living room? I do too, but that's the kitchen area and the dining room over in the far to the left and the sitting area. But listen, I want to just share some thoughts with you. Not I don't want to come with anything real, critical. I just wanted to speak to somebody in my family, Nubian brothers and sisters, and you know, try to say some things that may help you because when I'm looking at this situation with the relationship, the dating scene between you know my beautiful Nubian brothers and sisters, and from what I see, uh, whew, it's rough. I mean, so much has changed. And, I have to, I always like to understand the thinking and the mindset of whoever it is I'm dealing with, whatever it is. It doesn't, mean it don't necessarily have to be anything specific, but whatever. When I'm working with people, I always want to, as much as possible, understand the way that person or those people think, understand the way their mind work. And with that understanding, more than likely, whatever it is you're working on with that person, there's a very, very high probability that is going to be successful because you understand the mindset, the mentality, the way the person think, and understanding that, then it'll be easy to actually work with them, doing things, whatever. You understand? So I'm here to share some things that may help you in the area of seeking uh, a relationship with somebody. I want to share some things. This is from my heart. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't mean to be offensive because when you talk about relationship, especially between the Nubian brothers and sisters, those beautiful chocolate brothers, the beautiful chocolate sisters, then when you get to talking about relationship, boy, you can get into some real feelings, some real sensitive situation, conversation that it can just almost go into hostility. So I wanted to just talk to you all from a position of being a senior brother that lived during an era of time that we had a whole different society, social construct. We were different people, a different type music, hmm different environment, different food, everything, government, everything was different. So what I'm seeing today, I have to like understand that it's a different time that we living in. And being that I came from that time where the brother knew his position and was happy to do the man thing. He was happy to fulfill his position as a man because we, as young men, were groomed by the senior brothers, our fathers and uncles, on how to be men. And they had a way of making being married a joy, a pleasure. And so for me, coming from that time when everybody supported, being married, and then seeing today what's going on, it's a whole different world. But at the same time, I didn't come here to browbeat anybody to make embarrass you. But there's some reality that we are dealing with here. What I grew up with, a father, uncles. I give you an example. You all remember Dr. Martin Luther King? Yes, I was out there in Atlanta. We was marching, and I was out there, with Dr. King, Ralph David Abernathy, Andrew Young, Maynard Jackson, who was the first African American president in Atlanta, and several other people. You had the Nation of Islam out there. All those brothers, Stokely Carmichael, Huey Newton, they all rolled through. And I was a young brother, but I remember, okay? And I remember one time a brother came to the house for something. I was there. My mother was there. I was there, and my sister. I had 3 sisters. I was there. And the brother came to the door. He talked with my mother, and I'll never forget my mother saying, okay, mister, but you're going to have to come back and talk with my husband. You have to talk with him on that. And she said, he'll be here at 5:00. If you don't mind coming back after that, at that time, you can speak with him, and I'm sure he can help you. That was my mother in the, okay, I'm 60 now. That had to be at least 50 years ago, maybe 54, 53, something like that. But I was young enough, but old enough to remember. Nowadays, the society we're living in now, you don't have that many sisters willing to be that type of woman, because this society that we're living in don't produce those type of women. Okay. And at the same time, being balanced, this society don't produce those type of men. You see, I'm not the type brother that I'm going to browbeat the sister or the sister. I may not be as popular amongst the brothers because I'm adult man enough with enough self-confidence to look at myself and my shortcomings and willing to address them for what they really are. And I'm going to point you out too. I'm not going to allow you as my brother to be over there stuck on stupid and make a thing miserable for the sister. You understand? If it's something you doing, I'm going to call you out on it. In love and concern that you will be able to help her, help yourself to maintain a beautiful, healthy, happy relationship and go on to glory. I'm not calling it out because I'm trying to embarrass you as a brother, but I'm saying these things to you because of the fact, number one, you need to hear it. And I don't need another brother that's doing dumb stuff, making another sister miserable so she can go out and talk bad about brothers as if we all are stuck on some dumb stuff. So I'm going to talk, about the brothers also. But this society that we're in, it does not produce that type of woman anymore. It does not produce that type of brother anymore. Brothers like me, I got to go back with what my mother said. Son, they out there, but they are few and far between. When me and my mother, I was a teenager, and we was talking about girls because I had a little sister, she was liking me and da-da-da-da-da. My mother said, bring her here. I want to meet her, and because, the parents, if they like whoever you was liking, they help you with her. My mother talked to me as to how to deal with the little sister. the things I should do to make her happy. You know, my father, he had already gave me the 411. There will be no hitting of any women in this family. If I ever tell you, think that you want to hit a woman, I'm going to come and beat your ass till the cows come home. See, y'all don't know about all that. Y'all young folk, you know, coming up in this society is sad, man. My heart goes out to you because you all don't have that mother and father at the house. You got a mother, she there working 2 jobs or whatnot, trying to hold it together. And so you basically go home on your own, start the computer, you know, and the TV or whatever. Because she's just trying to work and keep a roof over your head because she don't want to lose you to the system. You have that type of situation going on. Then you have a sister with brothers that the brothers, they wasn't fortunate enough to be like me to actually get some home training and male development from real solid men. I'll give you another example. When I say Dr. Martin Luther King, everybody, most brothers and sisters know Martin Luther King, and most of you all have seen pictures of him. Some of you were fortunate, like myself, to have been there with him during those days that he was preaching Ebenezer Baptist Church and other experiences. If you wasn't, it's easy to see pictures of Dr. King on the internet. The point I want to make is that about Dr. King, because he was so famous and popular and well loved, we wore our hair like Dr. King, which was that low, real neat cut. But we went to the barbershop every Saturday morning after cartoons. You know, they had a cartoon called Super Friends, came on 9 o'clock. Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Spider-Man. Then you had Speed Racer. All those cartoons came on back to back. And when that was over, we go to the barbershop every Saturday. Now, I want you to understand this. If just about all of us wore our hair like Dr. King, why we need to go to the barbershop every Saturday? You understand? That's the question. If we're all our hair was short, neat, like Dr. King, why we got to go to the barbershop every single Saturday? The reason why is the barbershop was the place that the brothers and the sons, teenage son, would get together. Every Saturday, the barbershop was packed. Fathers, sons, uncles, nephew, just a whole bunch of brothers in there. And it always be in the midst of the brothers, one brother or two brother that suck up the oxygen in the room. They got the most conversation, yada, yada, yada. You know, they doing the talk. And generally, when it's a bunch of brothers together, it's the elder. Well, when I was coming along, it was the elder brother that did mostly all of the talking. We never said nothing. Our little bitty selves. And then the older teenage son, they could ask questions, but they couldn't get no commentary. You could ask the question to get some information. All the knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding came from the elder brothers. And then a lot of those Saturdays, that were elder brothers in there. Everybody hair neat. Might have been one, might have been two brothers actually sitting in the chair. And a lot of time they were just sitting in the chair because there was somewhere to sit. They weren't getting haircuts. The barber and everybody, the brother, the owner shop, man, look, they brought us there every Saturday to give us men skills. You may have another way to say it, it's more professional, but that's where we learn about being men, adult men. We learned it as young sons. We were still children. We wasn't even 18. Most of us wasn't even 18. I know I was like real young, 10, 9, but I remember that. And I enjoyed it because why? I had time with my daddy, me and him. I didn't give a crap how long it took. Me and dad was together, me and Pops, Big Jim. And he was a big brother, like 6'4", 6'5", built like Ronnie Coleman, not as muscular, but solid, no fat, United States Army vet, 25-year master sergeant. Powerful brother. And everybody in the neighborhood knew him and loved him and feared him because when his nickname was Big Jim, his name was George Richard Crowder. And everybody called him Big Jim. And they loved him and feared him. Because Big Jim didn't take no stuff, but at the same time, Big Jim passed out the ice cream. He whooped your butt when you need it. He wasn't slacking on no butt whipping if you needed it. But at the same time, he be the one serving ice cream. You know, and that means my father was balanced. He wasn't just the kind of man that came in kicking ass every time something happened. My father was an intellect, and so was my mother. And you know that's why I respect something Denzel Washington said. He said, when you seeking a sister to get with, you need to really be more concerned about what type of mind she has, you know, because her beauty is not going to raise your baby. It's going to be her mind, her thoughts, the way she think. That's what's going to raise them babies. And when I heard him say that, did he remind me of my parents? Because my parents were the type parents that whipped little, talked a lot, and asked questions. That's where I was raised. I got one whipping from my father, just one, in all them years. But that whooping lasts me till today. I mean, Big Jim got on my butt. He been dead. Ooh, wow. Hold on. What happened? Um, all right, let me pull it together. My father been dead. I guess I don't need to say that word. Um, they call him Big Jim, and he was a heady kind of brother, heady. Um, kind of brother that whip little, talked a lot, and asked you questions. And I didn't. Uh, when I was young, I just went with it. It's like I do something, and he would ask me, "Why did I do that?" And if I didn't have no answer, I would have to stand right there in that spot until I could say something. And what I said had to be something intelligent. I don't know. Maybe he got that from the military. He was, like I said, he was in the army. He was a master sergeant. He came out. He was a 25-year retired vet. So if I did something that make no sense, he would ask me, "Why did you do that?" And I would stand there and look at him, and I couldn't say nothing because honestly, I didn't know why. He said, "Well, you stand attention until you can think and tell me intelligent why you did that." And he going on about his business. I'm standing there 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, one time it was like, I think it was an hour. And he come back. He said, "You know why?" I don't know, man. I came up with something. I pulled something out my ass and gave it to him. I guess, I don't know. I guess he must just like if you could just say anything, even if that's stupid, I'll let you get out of here. I don't know. I said something to him, and he finally, he's like, go ahead on. Then we didn't have remote controls in those days. We didn't have cable. We didn't have internet. We didn't have cell phone. We had the rotary phone. Do you know? Do you know children today don't even know what a rotary phone is? Even a push button phone, a phone on the wall in the house, a phone with the wire to it. You had to plug it in the wall, and the children don't know that now. I have a granddaughter that's just over 1 year, and she know how to use the daggone cell phone. You know what I'm saying? These babies growing up in the cell phone, the high tech era, and they don't even know what a rotary phone is. And so my father, being that he was a master sergeant, uh, he's about that discipline. And so if he called me, I couldn't say what if he was sitting in the living room watching TV and I was back there in my room. If he called me, I couldn't say what. I had to come there and stand right there. And he would be sitting watching the TV with his feet up on the stool, and his feet was maybe about, it wasn't that far away from the TV. I'm like, he's six. I think my pops was like 6'4". Hell, he could have bent over forward and reached the TV. He called me. I had to come, and I stood there, and he had his hand crossed on his lap, and he pointed his finger, and then I would change the channel to the TV, and I had to stand there until he watched that program, see if he liked it. Then he moved his finger again. I clicked to the next station, and then he'd move his finger again. I clicked to the next station. See, now this is history. You all don't know. Back in those days, it was only 3 TV stations that we used: 2, 5, and 11, ABC, NBC, and CBS. I remember, would never forget them. Why? Because I was the remote control. I had to stand there, man. It didn't make no difference what I was doing, what I was involved in. When he called me, I had to show up. He had to hear them feet coming. I couldn't holler out, what? Discipline. So I stood there and I could not show any emotion. He moved that little finger. I clicked that station, click. Move another finger, click. And that was it. Because when I went out there, it was on channel 2. One but 2 other channels, 5 and 11. Channel 5, channel 11. And so I click, then he nodded his head like, you can go. And I go back to whatever. I better not walk off with no attitude. I better not think no attitude, because he was going to pick it up. And I went home back to my room, finished doing what I was doing. That's discipline, teaching you just discipline. Your parents are the law. Your parents is the way. Your parents is the police. Your parents are the judge and the jury. They handle it all. Again, that was a whole different era of time. Because I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. The name of the street that I grew up on when I was born and brought to the house was 171 Tuskegee Street, Atlanta, Georgia. And we moved from there to Dollar Mill Road, 254 Dollar Mill. And my father and I, we was cool. We had a real solid relationship. And I really, liked my father, Big Jim, and his brothers, my uncles. My brother was cool, man. They treated me good, looked out for me, taught me stuff, and made me the great man that I am today. And I see now that our young sons don't have that. And I'm not going to say it in a manner like they wrong. See, I listen to people and I listen to people scold the brothers and scold the sisters. Then we talk about relationship and it get hostile. The sisters have their emotion, they be in their feeling. The brothers have their emotion, they be in their feeling. And we want to talk about this subject, but we never can make any real progress because we get so emotional in talking about the subject. The sisters sitting over there with their fist balled up, ready to strike, and the brothers sitting over there with their fist balled up, ready to strike. And what's the problem? The problem is in our minds. The problem is right in between your two ears. You take it with you everywhere you go. You sleep with it, you work with it, everywhere. The problem is the way you think. And the way we think now is based upon the environment, the culture, the times, the environment we live in, the culture we under, the conditioning from all of the different things that condition us to think the way we think, especially about these relationships, especially with the brother and sister, especially the Nubian brother and sister. Our minds are screwed by the powers that be that know when the Nubian king and Nubian queen fuse together, come together as one in the proper spirit, the proper energy, and they harmonize with each other. That is the fundamental foundation to the greatest power ever on this planet. That brother and sister working together as one. That's what our colonizer, slave owners, oppressors, races, white people, powers that be don't want to happen. Because when that brother and that sister, that Nubian king and Nubian queen come together spiritually as one and they are harmonizing, ain't nothing on earth can beat it. Again, all the women on the planet, what are they trying to do? Which woman are they really trying to be like? All the women on the planet. They all are trying to be like that beautiful Nubian queen. I hate saying black people because we're not black until you do get to Sudan. Like I've been there. And I have to admit, those brothers and sisters are BLACK, beyond the shadow of a doubt. I remember Richard Pryor, for any of you all that remember the great comedian Richard Pryor, he was saying in one of his jokes, one of his performances, how black these people are. He was talking about can't see in the dark, black, jet black. I done went blind black. What happened to the sun, black, blue black? Where they go? The lights out and there ain't nobody here because they so black you can't see them. But I understood all them other descriptors of black, but the blue black, that caught me because what do you mean blue black? See, he had been there. I didn't understand what he meant by blue black until I actually was in Africa. And we went to this party that they was having for us. And you had brothers and sisters from different countries there in Africa. You know, Ghana, Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Sudan, Mali, Chad, the DRC. I mean, they was from everywhere. Some from Francophone country up there, Ivory Coast. I mean, it was just incredible. You know, I mean, I was like, woof. And this sister, I never forget this. When we was riding up to the place, this sister was standing outside with a few other, African brothers and sisters. But this one girl, as we was driving up in there, she was standing to the right, standing there talking with somebody. And she had this white knit two-piece outfit on, the knit skirt, and it came like maybe halfway to her thigh. and she had the white top. When I say she was black, she was like what Richard Price said, blue black. Why? As I sat in the car and we rolled up there, the headlight of the car shone on her thigh, and the reflection came back this real pretty coral blue. And as we drove by, my eyes was fixated on her thigh, looking at that damn blue, thinking about Richard Price saying blue black. And now I'm seeing this girl was so melanated and she was so black that she changed the rays of light and changed them from being white to my eye to blue. And as we drove by, they changed from a real pretty rich coral blue to like a sky blue to a powder blue to a I mean, damn, I hadn't even got in the part. I'm already blown away. That girl. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Woo! I mean, she had the whitest teeth. It looked like every time she opened her mouth, a light shined out of her mouth. Her teeth were so white. Then her eyes, man, like they never been bloodshot. And she was tall, about 6'1", had the perfect torso, leg ratio, and just was, whoo, this girl was beautiful. And she had the audacity to come up there with a knitted, almost mitten skirt and a jacket on with her black, beautiful, the right size hip, butt, breast. This girl, whew, and so graceful. I mean, it's like, wow, look at her. Her moves were just like fluid, man. And she just seemed so natural and relaxed. Like, I am here. And they have no, she didn't have no uh, fingernails and fake hair and all that, because this was before all that became popular. Okay, now you got a lot of sisters in America. They throwing off all that fake stuff. They going natural. And I love it. But now these Asian, they working on Africa. And they sent messages that, look, they not even trying to supply the American market of fake hair, because the demand is so great in Africa they can't hardly keep up. And so that wave now, they getting that money in Africa. But anyway, this was before all of that. So she's standing there in her beautiful black natural self. And she, they threw the party for us, so everybody was coming over trying to, get a few words with us and everything. Yada yada yada. Still thought them that's cool. But then this sister, she I never get me and my brother was standing there talking, and we was looking at the sister, he and I together, and I was basically almost paralyzed, man. I couldn't even move my feet, and I told him, I said, hey, bro, now if we are men, and I woke up this morning believing that I'm man, he said, yeah. Now, if neither one of us go over there and at least speak to that sister and introduce ourselves, we're not going to be men when we leave this party tonight. He said, I hear you. He said, you going to go? I said, bro, I can't move. My feet paralyzed. She's so pretty, I can't go. He said, well, I got to get myself together because I'm slobbing on myself. I looked around. Woo! I said, dude, what? I said, man, clean yourself up. Go on over there and talk to the sister. So he went over to talk with her, and she responded real good. She was happy and everything, And then later on, I spoke with her, and she's a real beautiful, pleasant sister, man. Just incredible. And when you look out there on these beaches and these tanning salons and the gyms and places, what are these girls trying to do? What is the objective they trying to accomplish? They're trying to get what you, beautiful Nubian queen, is born with. You gifted with that color. Just like this sister was so black all the way from that up to albino. I met an albino sister in Africa, a black woman, but white. She was an albino. And they dealt with her like, she one of them. But, they grew up together. She told me in the beginning, it was hard when she was young because the children didn't understand. They was real, nuts. But as they grew up, They understood. So I got a chance to meet the sister that was, like I said, she was so black, the light reflected blue black. That's what Richard Pryor was saying. And then I met a sister that was a daggone albino. And then I met sister that was in between the blue black albino, pecan tan, rouge, cocoa, cinnamon, all of that, right there in Africa. Every single color under the rainbow. And so you have to, as beautiful, chocolate loving, melanated Nubian king and queen, you have to begin to understand how beautiful you are, because we got screwed up in the mind. And that's my fundamental position in dealing with these relationships in 2022. Our problem is not really each other. Our problem is how our minds have been programmed to think about each other. That's the 2022 issue. Because I can tell you about the way it was back then, but it ain't back then now. And maybe if you hear and someone like me can share with you how it was, it may help you. I'm not sure, because you have a lot of negative things that's undermining a good, healthy relationship between a brother and sister. And if you would just stop and look around when you go out to different places like Walmart, Target, Whole Food, Outback Steakhouse. What's the other one? The all you can eat buffet, all you can eat buffet, Golden Corral, and what's the fish place? The seafood fish place? Not Captain D's, the other one. But anyway, just the malls. When you just go out, look around and see who's with who. Okay, like when I was in Miami, okay, I worked in Miami for 3.5 years. And one of my favorite, I had a house on South Beach over there on Alton. And it's a spot right off on, well, I built the, one of the high rise condo units on Brickell Island, the one the Chinese built. You know, when they was dredging the bay to create to build Miami Bay, where they bring the big ships, the cruise ships in, they dredged all that out. And what they did, they built this huge circle out of these pylons that they pounded into the ground through the rock bed and everything. And that's where they put the dirt when they dredged it out of the seabed, the ocean floor, to build a port of Miami. So they did that a few years. And as they dumped that dirt over in that circle that they built, it pushed the water out. Well, they put enough dirt in there that all the water was out, and then they let it sit for a while, a long time, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, and it dried out. Then they came in and packed it, and they dug these deep pylons, and they built the building on. Where I worked on the last building they built, but up on that island is a beautiful little kind of like cubby nook. Like, you take a sister, it's just nice, man. The weather is nice, the air, the water. So I would take my date over there. We go out to dinner and we go over there and talk and sit. I remember one time the sister, she told me, she said, baby, let's get our food and go over there and eat. Yeah, okay. So I went over there. We go over there and eat. And I lived there in Miami for 3 years. And I would go out there on Bayfront. And Bayfront was my spot. Yeah, we would hang out Bayfront. And you got your bars out there, the Hispanic brothers and sisters, man, the Cubans, This place was lit, man. I loved it, boy. You be just up in there and everybody be so free and food and drinks, and over there the yachts and we over here, and the Miami Heat playing over there. And then they had this little amphitheater out there where the people come out and just do free performance. But the thing that I noticed was that every single other nationality of people were with their families. I mean, grandmother, grandfather, and everybody was walking the pace of the grandmother. Well, nobody out walking the grandmother. It was the mother, and you could see she was the grandmother, the grandfather, the children, the older children, and the grandchildren. And they all strolling along. That's the Hispanic crew. Then you had the Cubans. They came up, and like down there, you had a dry foot, wet foot. If any Cuban foot touched the shores of Miami, they can come on in. But they do the Haitian brothers and sisters dirty. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our Nubian brothers and sisters. I'm saying some things in an effort to help you to do better in relating to each other. So anyway, you would see all the other nationality of people out there with families, but you never saw the brothers out there. It was always maybe a brother and a sister, maybe two sisters, couple of brothers, but the Nubian people, you didn't see them out families. Everybody else you did. I remember one time I was in Chicago and shopping with a friend of mine, and I saw this brother. He had a baby on his shoulder, and the sister was walking next to him, and they had a buggy full of food. This is in Whole Food. Was it Cicero in Chicago? I don't know. It was a Whole Food in Chicago. Me and a friend of mine was there shopping, and I saw the brother, and I looked. I was like, "Whoa!" The baby was on his shoulder. The sister walking next to him, and another baby in the buggy full of food. I'm like, damn. I told my friend, I said, hey, look, that look like a black family. Nubian family. And she looked, she like, yeah, okay. So what? I said, hold on. I'm going to speak to that brother. Now, I've been in Israel. Now I've been in Israel little over 40 years. Last year made my 40th year. When I saw that, I think I had been in Israel 25 years straight. And then I went back to the States for something. And I was out shopping with a friend of mine in Whole Foods in Chicago. And I saw that brother, and it looked like a family. It looked like an African American family. And I'm like, Shazam. So I go over to him. I say, hey, how you doing, my brother? Hey, how you doing, man? What's up, man? All right. I said, my brother, look, I know you don't know me. I ain't come to do you no harm. I said, listen, I've been living in Israel for 25 years, and I'm thinking that this is your family. Like, you the father, these your children, that's your wife. Is that right? Yeah, you got it, bro. You got it, bro. This is my family. I said, my man, can I shake your hand? He laughed. He said, yeah, you can shake my hand. He said, but why you want to shake my hand, brother? I said, because you and this is rare. Y'all like the last of the Mohegans. He laughed. He said, ha, ha, ha. I said, African American family, the brother, the wife, the children out shopping together? Damn. He laughed. He said, oh man, he said, he's an old big man, you got it, big man. I said, look around. Look. It's not another couple family like this, bro. I said, if you need any help, any protection, call me, because we got to keep you strong. We got to keep you together, man. And the sister said, you know what? You special, bro. I said, why you say that? The sister I with, she said, you special. I'm like, why am I special? She said, I would have. You just walked up to somebody you don't know? She said, boo-boo, this Chicago. I'm like, yeah. And that brother is rare. A family, I wanted him to know, hey, brother, man, you keep up the good work. Because don't nobody talk about that brother, but he wasn't the only brother out there like that. It's a lot of brothers that got family that's holding it down that never get no shine. Because I told you, our problem is not each other. Our problem is the way our mind has been conditioned to think about each other. Then we act it out. So when I say anything to the sisters about something they doing, they ready to blast. Then if the sister say anything to the brother about what he doing, he ready to blast. Cause we both got our, you know, we in our feeling, and we can't even talk to each other. Do you know the greatest organ on the body? You think it's the heart, the lung, the liver, the kidney. The greatest organ on the body is the ear. The ear. You know why? Because with the ear, you can hear wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. With the ear, I can tell you how to cure cancer in 6 days. I don't even have to be there. I can just tell you what you need to do. And the cancer cells be dead in 6 days. That's through your ear, not your toe. With your ear, I can talk to you and help you with a lot of your problems just by talking to you with the ear. 2 very important points I just fixed for you. I done help you with your problem, and I done cured your cancer just by speaking to your ear. And that's why the ear is the greatest organ in the body, because through the ear, you get to hear wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Like you don't know something, go and ask. And when you ask somebody, they're going to tell you, and it'll be through your ear that you get the answers. When you're sitting in a class, you looking at the instructor, if there's an instructor, because like I said, it's 2022. This is a whole generation. It's a whole different construct we're operating in. And class is not necessarily an instructor up there at the blackboard like when I was in school. You hear that blackboard. Whoo, that's so old. An instructor up there at the blackboard. Oof, wow. I went back then on dinner. So, but still, the ear is still there. Whether it's the computer, the laptop, the pad, the phone, whatever, you still get instruction by being spoken to. Then after that, the eyes, because you can read the text. You understand? So these are very, very important organs on the body. And I say the ear is the most important organ because that's where you can hear wisdom, you can hear knowledge, you can hear truth, you can hear understanding. And so our situation is not each other. It's the way we have been programmed to think by each other by the people that are using our strength for their world. And they want to keep us off balance. So they are telling you things like this one sister, real powerful. She came on the Instagram and she's a comedian, very beautiful sister. I mean, she's big old pretty warm eyes, just beautiful, great spirit. And she was saying, wait, I got a problem. And she was saying, now we over here listening to Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, and Cardi B telling us, all these things, broke brother don't deserve no pee, how to, mess a nigga up and, drug him up and take his money and do all this. And then she said, and we standing at the bottom of the stairs waiting on the new songs to come out to give us instructions on how to fuck our relationship up. And these heifers is going home to their multi-million-dollar mansion married. They happily married. And they giving us instructions on how to wreck our lives. She said, wait a minute, something wrong with that. These girls are married. Yes, they are. But they telling us stuff that's causing us They have terrible relationship. And that's why I'm saying the time that we're living in is completely different. The time that we're living in, especially for the Nubian brothers and sisters, does not support us coming together as a healthy family like that brother that was in Whole Foods in Chicago that went over and said, hey, we got to, whatever, congratulate him on that. It's all geared toward us. You don't see any other nationality going through what we going through as a people. And it's so it's like I see my beautiful queens walking around with multicolored hair, hella long fingernails that you can't do nothing with. I, what can you do with fingernails that daggone long? They didn't grow on you, and it's like if it didn't grow on time over time, you really ain't even adjust to how to deal with it. You just done went somewhere, sat down for an hour or two or whatever, and got these additional things onto your fingers. Now you really in your mind and your brain, in your hand and everything, you ain't coordinated because that stuff didn't grow over a long period of time. So you look awkward. Okay. And then whoever thought about wearing the tights, leotards, I think they are, and you got our sisters with them big old bottoms, big booties and breasts and everything, and they walk around with these high heel shoes. Look, okay, I'm 60 years on the planet. I ain't nowhere near old. I don't even sound 60, but nevertheless, when I see my beautiful thick sisters walking around with those high heel shoes on, all that tight stuff, they just look uncomfortable. You just look restricted, constricted, like you can't be yourself. You tipping around on the high heels, and the way it look, you look like I got to really focus so I don't fall and break my ass. That's the way you look when you walking in them shoes. And then the big girl, she got a pair on. But hey, don't even worry about what I'm saying. You ain't wearing them shoes for me. You wearing them shoes for yourself because you think you look cute in those high heel shoes that got you out there like you can't even do nothing. And if something jump off, remember the World Trade Center? I watched videos of women running barefoot. They had to come out of them heels. I'm not saying you got to run around with sneakers all the time waiting on some tragedy to happen. I'm just saying that it looks very uncomfortable. And I know, you're gonna have some sisters to be, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. It ain't, I'm not even saying that to be offensive. It's just a reality that the beauty that you were born with, you got it on display for everybody. But that's the society we in now. Go out, get drunk, get lit, get high, fire something up, smoke something, and just go wilding out. The music done taught you how to do that, like the sister was saying on the internet. The movies, everything. And then at the end of the day, you go home alone. You go to bed alone. Then you got to please yourself, however. Because why? Uh, you've been conditioned to actually not want a man subconsciously. And so what you're not realizing is you driving the brother away through your energies subconsciously. And then the brother, you're driving that sister away through your energy without even really knowing it. It's an energy, my man, that you putting off that's turning the sister away from you because of the way you thinking in your mind. She's picking that up and ain't even trying to give you no energy like that. It's all about energy. But man, I have to go back to society today, what we got to work with, the examples we got to work with. I can talk to you all day long about how I was raised and way we was raised back in those days. But we not back in those days. It's 2022, man, where every damn thing goes. I mean, women be twerking, and it ain't just sisters. The white girls got dunk nowadays. I mean, they come through the door, they got their dunk and happy with it. So it ain't just really a color thing. And that's where the tide going, the whole wave. That's where everything is, it's sex, 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 booty, 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 sex, and the game is played, and the prize is sex and money. Sometimes first prize is money, sometimes first prize is sex. And that is the environment we living in. So how do you actually, if you serious, even though I know this don't affect every single person, but it affects a lot of our people. So how do you actually function, okay, in that environment when you really earnestly looking for somebody? Okay, it's almost like, you ever seen people with those metal detectors out on the beach or the ground, and they waving it back and forth across the ground, and they got a set of headphones on where they listening for a beep or sound, and some of them have these screens, and when they get over a metal object, it go to sounding off, dee-dee, 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 dee. And they go back and forth, and then they kind of pinpoint and they start digging right here. That's almost how the way you have to find a relationship nowadays, in the midst of all of this noise and confusion. You have to get your energy, uh, the individual that come in your space, whether it be male or female, brother or sister. That's just about how you have to get to, find a person, because that metal detector, the person is waving it back and forth across the ground, and with the headphones on, and some of them had the LED screen where they can see certain information, and you waving it slowly back and forth until it beep. Then you go back, beep, and you right over the target. What that metal detector is doing is sending signals out, and when it hits certain metal, it'll bounce back, and that's what it send the alarm off to let you know it's something there. In this particular environment today we living in, that's just about almost the way you got to find somebody. And all this noise, you got to have your spiritual antennas up, to where you looking for a particular brother, or you looking for a particular sister. Somebody may introduce you to somebody. Yay, you may be at a party. Yay, you may be at a gathering. Yay, football, a Super Bowl, over to a friend house, a bunch of folks there, and you meet somebody, and it'll be good to talk with them and listen, because they in their conversation will tell you what kind of person they are. When you learn how to ask key questions to find out what's really on their mind, you seriously want somebody to harmonize with you. If you vegan, it's gonna be kind of tough to roll with a sister that's still eating flesh, but she got hips of a goddess. She's built like you would build her body. She's just so incredible. It's gonna be rough to get with her, and she's still eating meat, and you've been vegan. So you want to have to really consider getting into the vegan community. I think dating sites, are good too. I believe they have a vegan dating site for all vegans. Okay, and then even the dating sites. I call myself a dating site master, expert, because it's about the way you present yourself, your bio, what you're gonna say about yourself, the pictures you put out of yourself. You want to present a particular image, so that particular sister that's looking for that kind of brother, she'll see you, then read your information, say, oh, he sounds like my kind of guy, and then send you the information, a message, a contact, or whatever. But she's speaking to you based upon your pictures and the information you put out wrote about yourself. That's why she contacting you. Vice versa for sisters. You put certain information out, the pictures, and then you'll write up about yourself. And the brother that is feeling that, he'll contact you. But that's the way you do when you present yourself. And that's even in real life. The way you present yourself is going to attract that type of person. So if you walk around and you got big breasts, you got your boobs out jiggling, and you got a big butt, and you're wearing something super tight so your big butt can look super big, what are you saying? It's the way you present yourself. Like, I'm all about, what it is. I mean, this is how I'm presented. But that goes in harmony with the energy portion, where you have to feel each other energy too when you're talking with each other, getting to know each other, find out as much as you can. Need to ask every single question you can think of. Then after that, if you feel like, y'all might want to go ahead on and get a little closer, you talk about it. You understand? You adults, both of you adults, man, you sit, talk about everything. I mean, everything. Don't hide nothing, because you want to find out after you married, she actually is into witchcraft. Woo! And every full moon, she out there doing some crazy shit in the front yard. Your neighbors looking like, what the hell? They calling the police. And then you, baby, what you doing out here? You didn't know I was into witchcraft? I'm calling on the goddess or whatever. No. Now, see, you should have found all that out before you got married. You understand? Then she getting with a brother. She need to ask that brother everything from A to Z. Don't hold back nothing. I mean, I don't care how gritty it may be, how nasty it may be. You better find it out. I talked with a brother, discovered something about his wife later on that she didn't want to do in the bedroom. And because she didn't want to do that, he was dipping out on her. Now she all mad coming to me because she done found out he was cheating. But what he wanted her to do in the bedroom was something she definitely didn't want to do. Now, I can't get in between y'all in that business. I said, so I asked the brother, I said, my man, let me ask you something. Before you married this sister, you didn't know she went into that kind of stuff? Oh, no, bro. I just thought, you just thought. You didn't ask her? Oh, no, man. I just thought, she being my wife, she had gone with it. Whew. So, man, that ain't. So I sit down with him. I counsel him real good. And they got a divorce because the sister wasn't hearing that. She went all going to all that kind of stuff. And so this is why you meet somebody you halfway think you're cool with. I mean, they don't, yes, the dating site got some knuckleheads out there. Absolutely. Plenty of them. But at the same time, they got a lot of good people that's seriously looking for somebody. And you got to remember now, you have to function in the environment, in the season that we're living in. This is not 1980. This is 2022. Technician, information, knowledge move at the speed of thought. You can be anywhere in the world. You can get on the internet and meet somebody in Cambodia, someplace you ain't never been or even thought of. You can meet a woman from Latvia. When last time you thought of Latvia? Yeah, Latvia is one of those little bitty European countries over there in between two mountains. She's sitting on the internet, done put a couple of pictures up. You can hit her up. Find you somebody in Latvia. That's where we living now. What I be talking about, the way it was when I was coming up, that's over with. Ain't nobody doing nothing like that. Sisters don't even dress like that no more. So how I'm gonna look sitting up here, want these 2022 girls to act like the way it was in 1980? Hell no, man. I'll be crazy. But but I could actually find a sister that maybe have those same values, you understand, around my age too. But you got some young girls, they on the ball though. Seriously, they was raised by their grandmama. They can get in the kitchen and cook, clean, deal with the house, deal with you, work a job if they want. I mean, they can handle it. They know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and how to get it done. And they young. So it's just a matter in this relationship thing, you first know yourself what it is you want. Okay, that's the first thing. Then, at all costs, you do the best you can at finding that particular individual that cover those bases. Now, it sometimes it be a situation where you're gonna have to put up with some stuff and be good with this, because I don't think you're gonna find a perfect person, but you'll find a person that's perfect for you. You know, your shortcomings and whatever your little idiosyncrasies and everything, they can deal with it. You know, understand on that level, but you have got to talk to each other. It's like I'm sitting down talking with you. You got to ask them questions. Do you like sex in the, toss the salad? Do you like, eating chop suey? Do you know how to cook? Oh, you want to go to dinner every night or order out because you don't know how to cook, Uber Eats or something? Hmm. Well, let me go to your house and see how your bedroom look. And you go to her bedroom, shit all hanging out the drawers and the clothes, the king shut the drawer, shit hanging halfway out. That's where your house gonna look. You see this picture here of my living room, my house? Huh? Before I allow anybody to set foot in my environment, I know them. Don't nobody just come in my environment, my space. Yeah, true that. True that. Damn sure ain't talking about staying up in there with me. And I know you jacked up. You can come visit and bounce. Because you have to control your environment. You can't just let any Tom, Dick, and Harry run through there and drop off some old ignorant ass energy. My elders taught me that. Put salt in every corner of your house. You got a bad spirit up there, burn some sage. That's good, but that salt in every single corner of the house will drive out any ignorant spirit ever in there. Especially like you moving in a house that someone used to live in, a new place, no problem. But if it's an apartment, a house, or somewhere, you need to put sea salt in every single corner of the house. Let it stay there for 7 days, then sweep it out or vacuum it out. You'll be good. Yeah. So I guess I done spoke to you enough. I hope I shared something with you on this relationship piece that we can get together. And again, remember, our problem is not each other, but our problem is the way we've been conditioned to think about each other. Sisters don't want to hear brothers say nothing. Brothers don't want to hear sisters say nothing. As long as we stay on those positions, we ain't gonna be able to get together, because I need to be able to talk to you. Yeah, I need to be able to share things with you, my sweetheart, my beautiful queen, my Nubian queen, all of that. I need to be able to sit down and share with you what's on my mind without getting the shit beat out of me, because you may think it's the dumbest shit you ever heard. But that's my truth. That's my dumb shit. Okay. And if we're in a relationship, then I need to be able to say that dumb shit to you, and maybe you can fix me to help me, and vice versa. Vice versa. The sister, she got to be able to come say all the dumb shit she can come up with to her man, and he listen to it, and he can take it and process and help her. And beyond just listening, you have to get to a point where you learn to hear the spirit of what the person is telling you. You, brother, you got a sister. Sometime our sister can get, really emotional and compassionate, we say emotional, then they can get passionate about stuff, and it look like they mad as hell. A lot of times they just passionate about it. They fired up about it. They ain't even mad. They just there. And you have to be able to help her in her emotion explain what she trying to explain you. That means you as a brother, you can't be emotional. You got to hold on to your emotions as best you can. But if she approach you as a warrior, she gonna get dealt with as a warrior, because now she gonna raise your warrior spirit and gonna have a war on her hand if she approach you in that energy. But it's your woman, you supposed to know how to deal with her. So if she coming with something that, she ain't trying to do nothing to you, she's passionate about whatever, she may be upset. You got to be able to talk to her, listen, but you got to be able to hear beyond the words that she's sharing with you, to hear the spirit of what she's trying to tell you in her emotions, and then render her the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding if you got it. If you don't, maybe you can direct her to another individual that may know how to help her. But if she to the point where she's your woman and she has so much respect in you that she'll come to you with this, you doing real good. You're doing real good. Because she still respect you as her man enough to bring it to you. You understand? And vice versa with our sisters. It don't make a brother weak when he can sit down and talk to you and tell you what's on his heart. And you hear that and don't make fun of him because it may sound, batty to you. It ain't nothing like being able to talk to the one that you're in a relationship with. That brings the love a lot closer, because now you feel you got a partner in this. And two heads are always better than one. Even if it's two heads of cabbage, you get to eat more. But you got two heads working on one objective. That's a relationship. You got the brother and the sister working to accomplish the same objective. That's have a one good relationship between the two of them. So you see, you got a partner. The brother, you got a partner. The sister, you got a partner. And what have you all partnered up to do? You all have partnered up to have a great relationship. So that means it should be easy. You got two intelligent people striving to accomplish the same objective. That is, have a healthy, happy, and beautiful relationship with each other. Once you achieve that particular level of harmony, then there are other realities that's unleashed in that. But if you don't get to that level of basic harmony where y'all just, vibrating together, like, you and her, just two peas in a pot. After being like that for a period of time, you all are going to unleash some powers and truth that most people never even get to. Most people never even get to. You're going to release the old truth. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, that's enough for now. Remember what I said. Our problem is not each other. Our problem is the way that we've been conditioned to think about each other. We're living in another whole era, not when I was 10 years old, 50 years ago, but 2022, where nothing in this society support a healthy relationship between a brother and a sister, Nubian king, Nubian queen. You know as well as I do. It's you never hear nothing positive and real good about a brother or a sister publicly unless it's negative. Yep. And so it's like it's taboo to say something like that publicly about, a brother. And so these things I share with you It's out of my heart and my love because I know that you all are, in fact, the greatest people in the world. The issue, again, is like I said, we've been conditioned to think negatively about each other. In reality, we have the brain power to make this entire planet paradise. Dr. Johnson revealed to us the study that the European did that their objective was to prove once and for all that black people are inferior to white people. This is what their objective was. They didn't say it like that. They said in all these, big words and everything. But uh, what they was trying to do was come up with one surefire, guaranteed, concrete way to say black people are inferior, and then just close the door on that. And then you go on, being taught that you can't do that because y'all black and you can't. Just like that bandit in the movie Django, when he cracked that skull open, he pointed to these two dents in the skull and said these two dents only in the nigger skull is these two holes are there because they're rooted to be servants. They're born to be servants. So, that was some heavy stuff because that movie was watched by a lot of people. And so now I got to come back and tell you what they really said about us. And I'm going to just say it short. They found that intelligence is equated to the number of DNA series that a person have, which means the more DNA series, the more intelligent you are, the smarter you are. And they started checking first in the animal kingdom. They went to the monkey, the monkey, orangutan, chimpanzee. They had 3 DNA strands, 4 DNA strands, and 5 DNA strands. The reason why they did the monkey, orangutan, chimpanzee, because they supposed to be the most smartest animals, whatever. And then they went into the European world, and they found that the European had 5 DNA strands, which means they 1 DNA strand above the animals, so far as intellect, 1 step above the animal. Now they got that together. Now they want to go down to Africa, and they shoot in Africa because they're excited now because they just know these niggas is less intelligent than we are. And they got the little DNA equipment and everything. They over in Africa. And so they checked the first African brother, and the number come back, and they like, whoa, they don't believe it. This got to be a mistake. And so they said, check the batteries, replace the batteries. They come back again. Then they're like, let's recalibrate the equipment. So they recalibrate it and come back again. So they go to another country to check some more Africans and come up with the same number. How do they keep coming up with the same number? So they go all the way to the other side of Africa, from Ghana to Kenya, come up with the numbers. What? So eventually they had to turn around and accept what they saw in Africa. Now, those 6 DNA strands put that white man more intelligent above them animals, but only by 1 step. But then what they found in Africa shocked them. The African had 9 DNA strands. So that put Nubian people 4 DNA strands above animals' intellect and 3 DNA strands above European. This is not something I made up. Dr. Johnson, right down on YouTube, explained it to everybody. And what did they do with the information? They copyrighted it and sealed it up so you can get it. But then Dr. Johnson, hey, it broke it down to you. All the little details and everything. And so if we don't share this among each other, where would we get our self-esteem from, and how would we regain our self-love and stop wearing all these multicolored hair pieces and glued on and trying to look like somebody else and be approved by them, but then they the one laid up on the beach trying to look like you. We was out yesterday, men over here in Israel, and we was out talking, and this Israeli girl walked by, 2 big old pretty braids in her hair, but on each side, like the edge of the crown from the front going all the way down the side to the back. She had that long hair. And as she walked by, I'm like, whoa. I said, dude, there go your next wife. Looked around, saw them braids, just laughed. She done went somewhere, one of these sisters, these Ethiopian around here, and got hooked up. Braids all over the world. They trying to look like us. Now, I got to go back and re-educate you on all the great things about who you are that they done wipe from our minds and replace it with dumb shit. And so we run around here acting like I'm bat out of hell. And so I have to say things to you like, when they laying on the beach, what color they trying to get? They trying to come out looking like the Asians or the Canadians. When they out there on the beaches, what color they trying to get? Blue? No. Like a little bit of sun come out. The beach full in front of my house, because I told y'all, my condo is right off the beach. I look out there and see them. A little sun come out. Hell, it ain't even the sun. It's cloudy, but it's bright. It looked like the sun. They out there. Just get something. And they all trying to look like you. And here you don't even like you. Isn't that amazing? Every single woman in this world are looking at these beautiful, chocolate, luscious sisters, wishing they could have just a little bit of what they got. And my sisters walking around like they don't even appreciate it. And the brothers, you see, they don't work so hard on us because we that foundation. A friend of mine called me and said she was so discouraged because the Israelis told her something. She said, I need your strength, big brother. I need you to. So I talked with her, pumped her back up, and she was able to carry on. That's why they are so hell-bent on breaking us brothers. Because those of us that got our heads together, we can inspire many. And our sisters really, really don't want no white dude. And they really don't want to lock up with somebody else. It's just like some of them get to a mindset where they done just had so much issues with the few brothers they done dealt with. And when I say the few, because if you ain't dealt with every single brother in the world, you really don't have the right to get mad at the brothers. It's just those few that you done dealt with, and maybe for whatever reason you done picked them, something maybe in their character you didn't see, or maybe something in their character you did see and swept it under the rug to go for him because of these other reasons. And then later on down the road, that stuff you swept under the rug now them became a mountain. And it's come back to bite you in the ass because you didn't take it serious. So that's the way it be going. It'd be going just like that. And they want to cut us off, the brothers, because we're the foundation, the pillars of the family. Man and woman working together in harmony to raise the children. No big eyes, no little U's. We work in harmony with each other. And all they had to do is knock us off because we the rock. We the rock solid, the man, the brother. We know this is my family. And he know we're going to fight double, triple, and quadruple 24/7 to protect our family. And we had the strength to do just that. So in order for him to get to the family, knock us off. And that's what they did during the slave trade. Get the biggest, strongest, most powerful brother time between two horses, tar and fell him in front of all the slaves on the plantation and rip him apart. And that put fear in everybody. That the biggest, most powerful, strongest brother that all the slaves looked up to, they done ripped him apart like a piece of paper. And now you ready to be humble servants because you see what this white boy do. All this psychological programming on our minds that have taken place, even to the point where I've had black folks stand up and dispute that speech was ever given. Yes. Even today, you'll find some African Americans standing up defending the corporation, not want to give out no reparation. Black people fighting against it. Anyway, look, that's enough. Think about what I'm saying. Look at the situation. Use your mind. Cut off the internet. Cut off the TV. Cut off the radio. Cut off everything. Everybody, take you a good shower, get you a bite to eat, and go meditate. Sit down and be quiet and think. Because that's where everything is moving fast. And everything got you thinking about what it's caught up on, and you don't get a chance to think and go in yourself. So you cut off all that distraction and you get somewhere and you meditate and think, what is the best move? What? I guarantee you'll come up with the answer. Guarantee you. Anyway, it's been beautiful talking to you. And again, I'm saying these things, you can tell, look, I'm not coming out here with no laid out super duper ooper speech. They say all the most eloquent thing in the most well-spoken way. I'm born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm talking to you and I think I'm doing a damn good job because you're understanding everything I'm saying to you. I ain't going to no speech therapist to try to sound like I'm sitting up on CNN talking to you. It's us. It's us. We talking. I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? And we thinking. We working to figure this out. Because there's some shit up. Because I remember back in the day, you can meet a sister, you can hook up, get married, have children, go to school, all within the perimeter of 285. You ain't even left out of Atlanta, Georgia. And you about to die. Had your whole life there, great grandchildren, everything. You 90. Now the world ain't like that, man. You can be all over the planet anywhere. As soon as you hit the button, I'm sitting right here in front of my computer. I can go to Google Earth and type in the city. Zip, I'm right there. And then if I be on Street View, I can go out there and look. Okay, so, hey, I love you. I really do. Love you from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. Love you 24/7. That means I love you all the time. Make sure you subscribe now. Make sure you subscribe. Shalom. It's nice.